सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके देवी नारायणि नमोस्तुते. A few words about Deepavali. Deepavali is basically in Sanskritam Deepanam Avalihi. Avalihi is a row, Deepanam of lights. A row of lights or an array of lights is Deepavalihi, or Diwali, its shortened version. In the northern parts of our country, of India, Deepavali is celebrated. Deepavali is celebrated over a period of 5 days. The first day they have what we call Dhanteras. It is Dhana Trayodashi or Dhanvantri Trayodashi. The second day is Naraka Chaturdashi, when Lord Krishna is said to have killed the demon Narakasura. It is also said to be in the northern parts of India, it's called Choti Diwali. And then we have the main Amavasya day, which is the Deepavali day. Here is when Ganesha Puja is done in the evening, Lakshmi Puja is done. In business houses, the what they call the Chopada Puja or the Book of Accounts is closed. New Year is to begin the next day. Of course, we are aware of all the festivity, the celebrations, the distribution of sweets, the fireworks. In southern part of India, the Diwali or Deepavali Snanam or Ganga Snanam as we call it is that morning when people take bath in the Ganga. Of course, where Ganga Ji is not available, there 2 drops of Ganga water is poured in the bucket and as good as the water is purified. The next day, the 4th day, is what they call Vikram Samvat, or the New Year date is celebrated as Gudi Padwa, it is also called. Or in certain parts of India, like Mathura and other places, Nathdwara, Govardhan Puja is done. That is the day when Lord Krishna is said to have lifted the Govardhan Giri on his little finger to protect the people of Gokul. On the 5th day, many parts of the country celebrate Bhai Dooj, where sisters, it is the day for sisters to tie the sacred thread, to put the sacred tilak on the brother's forehead. And thus it is a very elaborate 5-day program. In our country, it is considered to be the biggest festival of lights, brings a lot of joy, something people look forward to throughout the year. Well, any festival, in fact, festival is something that people love, whatever festival it may be. It is a special event, sacred event. Festivals are events in which people, families bond, people forget old animosities, people try to make up with each other. There is a lot of prayer to the gods, prayer to the ancestors, and exchange with relatives. So these are the ways Kalidasa says, Utsava Priyaha Khalu Manushyaha. People love festivities. Primarily because it's a day of joy. It's a day when we celebrate the victory of good over evil. When you say victory of good over evil, is that not what we all seek in life? Let all goodness and prosperity be there for us. Let all the evil, the Narakasura or that Ravana, it is a day also in northern India, a day celebrated as return of Sri Rama after the killing of Ravana. Return to Ayodhya. Well, all this mythology, the Puranas, the Itihasas talk about days, festival days, and when we look at all these festivities, one thing that we all want in life, and that is victory of good over evil. And when you say victory of good over evil, we have a tendency to look outward, because we always think evil is out in society. Somebody else is the bad guy. There are others who are causing the problem. I am a victim of certain circumstances, situations, finding myself helpless. Really speaking, when we analyze this closely, frankly speaking, there is no evil in the world. There is no bad in the world. Even when that leopard attacks the cow, or the lion kills the deer, or the crocodile eats the animals, herbivorous animals that come to the waters. Well, whatever destructive activities we find, sometimes difficult to even watch on those National Geographic Discovery channels, still in nature we don't consider this evil. We don't consider it wrong either. We know very well this is the way it is. The tiger killing that cow, we are not going to kill the tiger because it killed the cow, unless the cow is my cow. When this my possessiveness comes in the human being, then the other guy becomes bad. But really, nature is how it is. This is how the nature balances itself. In Bhagwan's creation, there is no evil, there is no bad. If there is a Narakasura or Ravana Asura or any Asuras, it only stems from the human mind, our own thinking, the way we look at situations, the way we create our world. It is a world created by the human being. Look around us today. If we are unhappy with what we have, with our society, with our families, with our globalization, with all that is going on in the modern world, if we are unhappy, it is something that is created by us. We are really the creators of our own reality. In Bhagwan's world, there is no bad. If there is a bad, it is something that is created by our own incorrect thinking. A thinking that is what we call backed by a certain belief of separation. Certain what we call theology we have. A theology of separation. Everybody is separate from everybody. I am separate from God. God is separate from me. And I am separate from you. You are separate from me. I am separate from my neighbor. And we are separate from the other society. Our country is separate from the other country. Our civilization is different from the other civilization. All the ways separation, really when we are rooted in separation, how can we ever embrace, how can we ever draw in people in oneness? We need to really look at what we have caused for ourselves. We need to look at all this evil that we are talking about, the disturbances we are talking about, is not something that is external at all. It is something that we need to change. The separation comes, the destructive mind comes, the competitive spirit comes, the jealousies come, the sense of low self-esteem, that whatever I have is not enough. This whole thinking, it is like you spiral down. Once you have a separation thinking as your basic thinking, that I am an isolated person, I am alone, the world is different, and the world is out there for me to draw from, for me to become a somebody. Right now I am a nobody. This particular pattern of thinking takes us spiraling down and isolates us all the more. Deepavali, like events, are events that are very, very important for our social fabric, for our mental health also. Because they remind us that we are okay. It is a time that we need to bring out of us the best. It is a festival. When you talk about light, nothing else other than that truth comes to my mind, and that is really we are the manifestation of that infinite light. Our scriptures say, Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. Our scriptures say, Yatha Sudiptat Pavakat Vispulingaha Sahasrashaha Prabhavante Sarupaha Tatha. Tatha, just as the fire sparkles, how they are, thousands of them spread. We are the sparks of light. We are the expressions of that same light, that infinite light. In fact, we are the Deepavali. We are rows and rows, millions and millions of light of consciousness manifest, really moving around in society, but we are the fullness, the expression of that same light, the infinite light we call Brahman. And if we are that infinite light as our tradition teaches us, then what is this separation? What makes us divide ourselves from others? See others as competitors to us. Why is it that we feel that we have not enough, no matter how much we have? I would say it is because of certain judgments we have made. Certain judgments, if we can only stop judging our situations and people, if we can just look at the way we experience the world. When you talk about judgment comes when we see situations as giving us pain. In fact, pain itself is a judgment. We have had many saints in our country. And really, when I look at this sacred region of the Himalayas on Bhagirathi banks, sitting here I find what saints, look at the saints we have had in this country, lived a life of penance, of difficulties, pain, physical pain, but then they never labeled situations as pain-filled or joy-filled. Every situation is a situation for us to learn from, to grow, to evolve. And therefore, it is not labeled in any manner. You judge means you label. Once you label, then you decide if you can handle it or not handle it. Where there is no judgment, it is simple acceptance of the experience that is unfolding to us on a day-to-day basis. This is how my life unfolds today. It is not good or bad or pain or whatever. There is no judgment of this. I have called on to my life this experience. And why have I called on this experience in my life is because I want to express myself as who I am. In this experience, I express myself as who I am. Hey, who are you? Who are you? I am Brahman. I am of the nature of infinite light. If I am of the nature of infinite light, then I am of the nature of abundance. Lakshmi Puja we do on Diwali day. It is a Lakshmi Puja thanking the goddess, remembering all the abundance that I have been blessed with. There is a beautiful attitude in our culture, which our culture gives us, and that is called Kritagnyata, an attitude of gratitude, an attitude of appreciation for what we have. If I see myself as needing and wanting all the time, there is nothing wrong to desire something, but there is everything wrong to need. To find myself inadequate without the fulfillment of the need, that means that lack constantly pervades my thinking. If I can only shift or drop this asura from my head, the asura that tells me that I am lacking, I am needy, I am inadequate, if I can only use these occasions such as Deepavali to do my pujas, my prayers, not again seeking, oh Goddess Lakshmi, give me this, give me that, give. Dil mange more, dil mange more. I'm always mange, keep wanting. Venu, Sholite. I keep wanting this and wanting that. Why? Because as I am not okay. This is the asura we have to take care of. This is the Naraka Asura, the Ravana Asura, who always make us feel the thinking that makes me feel so inadequate. We have to drop this thinking. I am of the nature of infinite light. I am Brahman. I have been given everything to experience this life. I am the creator of my reality, and I can create my reality in expression of who I truly am. I can create my world believing and knowing that I have abundance. I am blessed with abundance. I have enough and more to share with those around me. I lack nothing, and really that is the truth. I lack nothing. If I have to do a puja, if I wish to do a puja, my puja is nothing but a reminder of the abundance that I enjoy, a gratitude and appreciation to the gods for giving me so much in my life. And with that bhavana, when I proceed to live create my world, create my reality, what a fulfillment, what a contentment I would have. When you look back, our elders, our ancestors, our people of the past, really they had very little materially speaking, but spiritually they were very contented people. They never encouraged the thinking of lack. They always felt they had enough. There was always enough to give others. Never that everything that I desire is a need to be fulfilled for my happiness. That's a very big conclusion we make and then drive ourselves crazy to fulfill those desires. One needs to take these opportunities of festivity and joy, of coming together of the family, of bonding. Let us for a change look upon the world as one family. Our Sanskriti declares Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, is it not? And in these times of globalization, it is the easiest thing to relate to, because we understand the globe as a village today. We can relate to the joys and sorrows of all of humanity, no matter how remote they are away from us. Can we not really look upon people as one family? Can we not share our abundance, our festivity, our joy, our appreciation and gratitude with all? Let us make a certain vratam for ourselves. Let us use these occasions to declare our abundance to ourselves, our society, our world, and make that a reality for us, so that we can share and enjoy these special days as sacred to all. Really, I feel even we have this simple Deepavali Snanam, Ganga Snanam we call. The purity of Mother Ganges, the Bhagirathi river, that for our generations and generations, she has inspired our civilization to knowing the purity of knowledge, the purity of self-knowledge. She is the flow of knowledge. And when she is the flow of knowledge, knowledge is infinite light. Infinite light is who we are. Really, that purity is our truth also. Nothing can disturb us unless we choose to get disturbed. That choice we make, the wrong choice we make, is the asura that needs to be destroyed or dropped. The choices we make have to be well thought out. Let us declare ourselves responsible creators of our reality and create a reality, a world of a certain thought process, certain words, certain actions, certain expressions that really are the expression of oneness. I am one with the creation. I am one with society. I am one with every prani around. There is no separation. We are one. Humanity is one. And we celebrate Diwali. We celebrate the joy of Diwali. Let us not think asuras are outside, who Bhagavan has to come, some avatara should arrive and kill the external evil. No. We as a humanity, we as one family of humanity, we are the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. let us work to create a reality for ourselves that is rooted in oneness, not in separation, that is rooted in sharing our abundance, that is rooted in a knowledge that we are blessed, and really that is the truth, and that is the joy that will stay with us for generations to come. This is my prayer to all of us. This is my best wishes to all our Hindus all over the world, and I pray and wish that with this vision of oneness we proceed to celebrate and seek all strength from the Lord to give us the capacity to relate to each other as one family. Om. Happy Deepavali to all of you. Om. That's it.